Hey, we're professionals here.
Feels like it.
I guess that's it. All right, let me turn that off. Hey,
Well, that's that.
How unceremonious.
and we're done.
Hey. Oh, hey, yeah.
Nice work, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give it for the man of the hour.
Thank you. Thank
James Willems, everybody.
you. There he is.
Hi.
James Willems. James Willems,
Look,
everybody.
there's burn-in on my pits.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's a really
I've
old
worn this
shirt,
so
though.
much.
That's
Yeah, I've
like,
worn
what,
it
like
so
8
much
years old.
that it's
7
not
years
even
old.
bleach can battle my pits.
Welcome to a dystopian bowl of dude soup. I'll tell you why in a minute. None of us are real. You're not real. Free will is an illusion. We'll get into all that very soon.
That's what the llamas say.
It's going to be an uplifting episode. I'm your host, Lawrence Sontag, joined by 3 fine AI panelists.
Oh, they're going to say young cannibals.
I could.
He was a fine young cannibal.
James A. Islands.
Hi.
Hey, that was a good robot.
You used to say Williams.
A. Williams.
You
Williams.
can marry me if you want by law.
What?
Everyone's marrying AI now.
Let robots marry.
The robots marry.
Well, two AI marrying each other doesn't bother me. Person marrying AI doesn't bother me. What happens in your bedroom doesn't affect what happens in mine, unless you're me,
As long as they do it under the eyes of God, it's okay.
which doesn't exist.
And
Build God.
Oh,
AI damn COVID.
calculating.
Yo, excellent.
Hey,
approved.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I got a bit of a headache, but that's okay.
That's okay. You
It's-
should never talk about your problems to the audience because they're looking at you going, I don't have a headache.
We'll try the
Why
chance.
would he
Good
say
point.
that to me?
And now
That's a
you're,
good strategy.
You're giving
Yeah,
them a headache.
it's sort of, it's like you in the restaurant when people are coming in after you ate. You're like, why are you here?
I ate already.
I ate. I'm done. It's a
well,
Seinfeld
so
joke. It's fine.
I'm saying that I have a headache to prove to the audience that I'm real. We're playing Mud It or Mud something, a Spin Tires game. I guess they're branching out their branding there. Okay. See my little dude.
Right, but the other game was about driving through mud,
This one is too.
so that's not really branching out.
Yeah.
We spun off your favorite aspect of the driving through mud game and
got
just
even
made
more
that
mud.
the whole game.
This podcast is brought to you by 2 sponsors, Blue Apron and Casper. You can get $25 off your first wine box because they do that now by going to blueapron.com/soupwine.
Tiny wine.
Yeah.
We'll get the tiny wine. Well, save it. We'll bring the tiny wine in later. Okay.
All right. And you can get $50 off your mattress purchase by going to casper.com/dudesoup and then using code dudesoup at checkout. But we'll hear more from them later. First, let's hit our YouTube check-in of the week. Shit's messed up, man. And not in a basic way. So I'm on such a journalism roll that I did it again, guys. I did more journalism.
Yep.
So let's does anyone want to
A guy gets one award.
Who's smarter than us do you have on this week to talk about the issue?
sadly nobody. It's just me.
Bonsai buddy.
I got some links and
Adam
stuff.
wants it. He
I
wants
can
to
take
put his
it.
hand out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's fine.
That'll give me a chance to look up my notes here. They're over there too, but I realized I'd have to tab out, and that might mess up the game and mess up the capture. And if there's one thing Dude Soup is, it is without technical fault. Every week
We can
without
exit
fail.
full screen mode. Let's not
Nope.
do that.
Just play the game.
I'll play the game.
I already have a headache, Adam. You don't have to try.
I remember one of my most eye-opening moments in life was when I was in Las Vegas. And they're like, "You here for Concrete Con?" I said, "No, I was just here for the weekend." And they're like, "Oh, big Concrete Con going on." And the guy, the taxi driver, I guess, was big into concrete.
They
Like,
should just call it ConCon.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I was like, "Oh,
Good.
ConCon,
Good for you.
or CreteCon, or
Concrete. Yeah.
yeah, something like that." It was
2017.
ridiculous, but regardless, I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah, all sorts of different kind of concrete." Like, yeah, he started naming them off, and I was just like,
I believe
it
him.
was strange. But I was thinking, like, with this game, the people are probably like, "Oh yeah, that other game, that was more like Mississippi mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more like Tennessee mud." You're like, "Oh yeah."
It's like Inuits
It's,
with snow.
Oh, yeah. They have like 100 words.
Yeah. To them, it's really important.
And we just got the one mud. But Spin Tires will change that soon. I'm really
just said
excited to see you
mud
drive
butt.
through some mud.
Oh, I'm playing.
Look at those tire physics.
He just said mud butt.
There's something pleasing about seeing mud squish around.
Ugh.
There's probably a word for that, some kind of fetish. Who knows? All right. The opportune YouTube deliciousness of the week,
Okay.
and we're not gonna end here. We're just gonna start here. This
Okay.
is a launching point.
Okay.
Well, we technically started with concrete.
Con.
That's actually the first topic. Put it in the tags.
Yeah, sorry. It's in the tags. It's in the title. Hey, all you concrete aficionados, welcome to Dude Soup. We're not talking about that anymore. Gotcha. Clickbaited. Casey Neistat. Hitting those headlines again. Punching around.
Can we get definitive pronunciation on that surname? Is it Neistat or Neistat?
I tried to find videos of people saying his name and I couldn't do it. Oh, Mud! You
can't
passed
find
some
him?
mud, dog. I couldn't find people saying it. I think it's Neistat.
Okay.
I'll take it if I'm wrong on that. Then again, I am a journalist and I'm not wrong about anything.
Yeah.
Never.
So he's taken to social media, taken to YouTube to voice his displeasure with the current state of demonetization, which I fully empathize with. His suggestion, which I think is look at that mud squish. Anyway,
You have issues.
his suggestion, which is understandable to a point, is that YouTube should bear the cost of demonetized content or unfairly demonetized content. Similarly to how like YouTube had an issue with you gotta winch yourself.
Don't worry.
Sorry,
You talk.
This is
I got
really exciting.
Don't
Mud
worry.
squish.
Do you want to play?
No, it's really fun to watch though. You could rotate that camera and get a better angle on that squish. Yeah, squish that mud.
Talk about your thing.
Yes,
I feel
seriously.
like he said that before.
So,
in a different environment.
When there was a rash of predatory or aggressive content claims, essentially, a bullshit company would issue a copyright claim on a video, and then they would get the revenue for the first week or so of it being up because YouTube couldn't really respond fast enough, and that was lost money. It was stolen money, effectively. YouTube responded by now holding that money in escrow so that when a claim is disputed on a video, the money doesn't go directly to the disputing party, it's held by YouTube. And then once a decision is made, it is awarded to whatever party is decided to be in the right in terms of content.
Gotcha.
Fair solution. It nipped the problem in the bud because spurious content claims stopped because it was no longer profitable. So good job, YouTube. Now we're in an issue where there is no money. Demonetization will hit based on an algorithm or based on an AI. So for a few days or even a week, no ads are being run, so no revenue is being generated. The content creator is now suffering because, or losing money because of this solution, which is intended to make advertisers more friendly to the platform. Casey suggests that YouTube should either compensate creators for that lost revenue or hire up enough people to manually review all demonetizations for channels of a certain threshold. He suggests 10,000 subscribers. Now, sounds feasible, and certainly for the world's largest YouTube platform and for all the content creators that depend on this revenue, that sounds like a pretty reasonable request.
I don't know about that. You go into YouTube comments, you find a picture of someone who has like a Stewie Griffin avatar who calls you like a bald fuck on YouTube, and then you're like, who is this asshole? You click on him, and he has 25,000 subscribers on a channel with one COD video from 18 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of YouTube channels out there, right?
I think
Gotta drive that trailer through the mud. Sorry.
trying to create some sort of hierarchy with subscribers, I feel like is a joke, considering how much of those could be fake or are fake. It's a thing we've talked about here where putting value on your subscribers is I think it's sort of a death spiral. You shouldn't focus on that. You should be focusing on engaging content and watch time and those sorts of things. Those things that sort of end up...
That's so many numbers to cross-reference.
I know, but just... It's
feels like you have to have some kind of robot do it for you.
I know. It just seems odd to me for someone to say, I have 10,000 subscribers. I'm important. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Well,
like you can hire a bot farm to do that.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's suggesting importance. I just think he's like for a certain cutoff of a creator who can reasonably like try to make this their job. You got to enter advanced mode there. Anyway, so I ran some numbers on it. Journalism is starting now, just so you guys know. We're in journalism mode.
Okay.
I found a channel with 10,000 subscribers. Looked them up on Social Blade, and they are ranked 364,000th in terms of subscribers. So of all the YouTube channels ranked by the number of subscribers they have, this channel was 364,000th in line, which means that there are 364,000 channels with 10,000 or more subscribers. That's a lot. That's a lot of channels. So here the math gets pretty fuzzy, but I'm just ballparking some numbers. I did it a few different ways to kind of show the true cost of what theoretically an entirely human review process might look like. So let's say out of 300,000 channels that have over 10,000 subscribers, let's say that a third of them upload daily and a third of those videos get demonetized automatically. So a third of a third. So that's 33,000 videos per day to manually review. Now let's ballpark it and say that each of those videos is 10 minutes long, which is a common cutoff for monetization on YouTube. That means there is 5,500 hours of content every day YouTube would have to manually watch and scrutinize to make sure that it all is all advertiser friendly. And that's a third of a third. That is actually pretty generous. Let's say that the algorithm gets better and even fewer people upload. So let's say a tenth of those channels upload every day, and a tenth of those videos are then demonetized. So we're now looking at 1 out of every 100 videos would have to be manually reviewed. Again, saying that they're 10 minutes long results in 500 hours of content a day, which if you divide that by 8, an 8-hour workday, let's say you have human beings that are doing nothing but watching YouTube videos all day and hit a big yellow or a big red or a big green button to either enable or disable monetization. That requires 62 human beings watching nothing but videos all day and hitting buttons. So now you're talking about like a lot of staff that you have to pay money to make the community happy, or at least feel more faithful in the system. But at that point, depending on where those people are employed, the daily rate for an employee it balloons to the point where in this iteration, it's already not monetarily feasible for YouTube to hire that many people because it doesn't justify the cost.
They'd have to hire a small nation.
Kind of, yeah. It's not scalable. That's the other problem. With YouTube growing as it is and becoming a fixture of the media like it is, you hire people in a linear fashion, unless you put them in vats and have them start breeding, just so they can watch YouTube videos, which could be actually pretty cool, slightly dystopian. But yeah, the scale of hiring and scaling a business is pretty linear because you have to like buy more space for them and you have to have desks for them. And they're human beings that have to exist and eat food. So you can't grow that with the pace that YouTube is already growing. So if it's not financially feasible now, it will never be financially feasible, and in fact will just get worse as YouTube's audience grows and grows. So provided that you agree with that math or that reasoning, we are looking at a situation where it is impossible for YouTube to manually review all the content that could potentially have ads run on it.
Well, what he's saying, though, is just stuff that gets hit with demonetization. Because every video going up doesn't need to be watched. It's just the one that the robot freaks out at and says, no, you cannot monetize this. And so then that goes into someone's inbox and they watch it, which sounds feasible, but it's that comical thing of the guy at the office with the giant stacks of paper that keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then people are emailing going, why haven't you done this yet? Where are you? And he's like, I'm trying so hard right now. And then at that point you start to get human error, which in Google's eyes is probably far worse than the robot, because now you start to get apathy and getting people just go, it's fine, and they're skimming it. There's no like James did this with the QC testing you did for Netflix.
Hey, how dare you? I watched every single episode of Power Rangers.
I know, but did you ever feel your eyes get heavy once?
No, never, because it was my job, goddammit, and I did it. The only problem is I left that job as soon as I could because you have hyper burnout on something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's more the case.
Yeah.
But doesn't YouTube already has like a farm of human beings that watch it to cut out all the videos of people cutting their dicks off that are being uploaded, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Wait,
mean, machine learning plus people.
There are people who are manually cutting off dick.
Wasn't that like a thing? Like people have written horror stories about, like it was my job to watch. Like they have this YouTube job where you go and you watch YouTube videos that get like flagged basically, and it's all the horrific stuff that just happens. Like people upload videos of themselves doing horrific things. But they only let people work that job for like 6 months before they let them go, or they say that's as long as you're allowed to work because it just destroys your humanity.
It's like being an underwater welder. You can only do it for so long.
Conversely, you have the guy at Disney World that works in the booths and has to like screen all the photos for girls that are like flashing their boobs on Splash Mountain.
I had that job.
Did you?
At Magic Mountain, yeah.
So you took out all the like flash photos?
We had to get all flash photos. One time a girl got on and was just completely naked.
How'd you do that?
It was always a mystery. one guy I worked with, we were both like, how? I don't know. And the rule is you have to delete it right away. It was always middle fingers, gang signs, nudity, like any obscene thing. You'd have to just
Dr. Buzzkill over here.
I know. Well, you would get fired. You'd get fired if you sold it. Though it was like there were some I don't know, but people would always come up and always be some white trash dude or something being like, yo, bro, where's my photo? It's like, the machine deleted it. And the guy's like, well, fuck, I want my money back. And it's like,
You didn't pay.
you didn't
entire
pay to
park?
go on the ride. You paid to get the fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
go get a moon waffle or whatever they sell.
Ooh.
What's the thing?
Deal.
Go get a moon
So-
waffle.
I'm busy here at Viper.
The comparison is apt, but I think it's exceptional for the fact that a ride is linear and fixed.
Sure.
So no matter what, there is a cap on the amount of people that can
Oh,
go on that
absolutely.
ride.
Right.
And there's only so many tits that can be flashed.
And so many times that ride can
Yeah,
run a
multiply
day.
that out,
And
too.
it's all
I mean,
mathed out.
and don't get me wrong, like there were times when like I just wasn't looking. I just didn't care because I was making $7 an hour, which was actually pretty good for back then. And I was just, people would be like, ha, I'm like,
Do you ever get
fucking
any
this-
dicks? People flashing their dicks?
No dicks.
Yeah,
Dicks
like
never.
the
Well, because they're
That's
always
tough.
sitting.
You can't stand up.
Well, there
It'd
was
have to be
Riddler,
like-
Riddler's Revenge, where you stand.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually kind of
flapping around.
disappointed that no one had like
Well-
just a hard dick off to the side.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, his revenge.
What's floppy and stiff at the same time, Batman?
But there's YouTube's weird. But so like that job was easy though because it's a single frame, and
Sure, yeah.
you
As you
have
said.
about 2 minutes to look at it
Yeah.
and go, done, yes, no. But sitting through a YouTube video, have you ever sat through a YouTube video you didn't want to watch?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I work
every
here.
dude's-
I'm just joking with
I gave you a
fellas.
softball.
Yeah,
That's
nice
nice
fine.
one.
job too. You don't have to say you're
No,
joking.
that's fine. No, but like just doing any kind of general QC or watching any sort of video for like work related purposes, it just gets tiring. Your eyes get a little heavy. You start to look at other things. You look at your phone. And you're just like, you just want to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, and repetition sometimes breeds human error just because there's, like you said before, there's only so much you can kind of take and like,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of your psyche doing that over and over again.
And then it also is sort of proposing this sort of system is also kind of coming up with, I guess, perceived innocence. So what if the human sees it and goes, you said something against a religion that person liked or was
Yeah.
part of. You said, well, no, but no, it wasn't offensive. He goes, well, I found it offensive. Now you're dealing with someone's personal bias.
And you will get into very gray areas that are subjective in terms of like, because YouTube would have to be like, just don't say anything about sexuality in general. But then it's like, well, what if I say I took a girl out tonight, we went back to my place and we made love. It's tasteful, but it does touch on sexuality.
And then you also say you made love in the butt.
yeah.
In the butt. Direct.
God's
That's-
okay with that
Is that okay?
because you didn't destroy the hymen.
Well, yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
She's still pure. So
I
you,
don't-
you guys are kind of all touching on a multitude of reasons
I
that.
didn't touch nobody.
Well, yeah,
You can't
demonetized. You're touching on in the mud though. You're touching on a lot of reasons that sort of reinforce. I brought the math, but you guys are also bringing forth a lot of issues with human review, and how it's not really sustainable. So, provided that we accept all that, what does that mean? What does that mean for the future of YouTube? What does that mean for the future of YouTube content? And specifically, and this is not just masturbatory, what does that mean for you, listener and viewer, in terms of the content you will see in the future? Because it means something very important, and I'll get to that soon. But first, why worry about the future when you can drink delicious wines from Blue Apron?
Bring him out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also, by the by, in terms of our business model, this is how, in the way that some companies can direct sell, we have sponsorships. So thank you, Blue Apron, for allowing us to maintain our content independence and sponsoring this podcast and sending us delicious wine. So,
What's that? You want me to drink you?
yeah. Hello? Why am I not drinking these already?
I had one over the weekend.
This would be great. I could drink some wine and look at this mud go squish. Man, good times. So, Blue Apron now has a wine service where they will send you 6 wines every month from Napa, Bordeaux, and beyond. They include whites and reds, both kinds of wine. And they come in these cool, like, 2/3 size bottles. So it's good for 2 pours with dinner, or 1 if you're me. And they're
Your
great.
big gulp.
Yeah. With my bendy straw.
Yeah. 32 ounces, never enough.
Can also show this. So we've talked about this before, but they're marked with like flavor profiles and flavor notes and stuff. And on the recipe cards with Blue Apron, provided you also get the food, you can just match the colors and match the shapes, and then you got
pairing
yourself
key
a
on the
nice
back,
little- yeah,
right
little wine
there.
pairing
Oh, this
there.
one has a pairing key on it. I'm not
You
sure.
don't have
Yeah.
your own personal Joel.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll tell you where the wine's from, what the flavor notes are, and this way you can kind of educate yourself if you feel like becoming an amateur sommelier. So yeah, it's a pretty great service. I never got into wine much because I drink I drink with a mission, but I'm learning that you can drink for fun too.
At fancy party.
Yeah.
Or just dinner at home with a loved one.
Or alone, watching Tire go squish. You can discover wine today and get $25 off your first order by going to blapron.com/soupwine, which is the best kind of soup. One that's just got wine poured all over. It's just a big bowl of red wine. $25 off your first wine box at blapron.com/soupwine. Thank you for the sponsorship. Thank you for allowing us to bite the hand that feeds by calling YouTube out, which is exactly what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. All right, now back to the dystopian future.
Well, you know, with that sponsorship, a human made that happen. There were no robots involved. Think about it.
True, no robots.
They had one human talking to another human, and they said, "Hey, you want some of this?" And they said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's it. That's the story of love.
Robots will make love soon.
I had one quick suggestion of where this might go. You beat it.
You did it.
I beat the game.
Nice.
You beat the first challenge. Mud Runner, a spin tires game. Ooh, the bog.
Is this not what we just did?
You did a challenge. This is now single player.
So my retort to Mr. Neistat would be, since when you create content on YouTube, you essentially become a employee of YouTube.
Sort of.
That's sort of. You're like a contractor.
That is how Neistat framed his discussion, which I think is actually pretty flawed. You are self-employed,
Right.
And you are working with YouTube.
You're being allowed to use
You're
someone
not even
else's
a contractor, really.
You kind of work for like Amway or Primerica or one of those things. Like you're just sort of a licensee for this thing. But I would like YouTube to allow some sort of service where you can employ your own YouTube professional. So it could either be yourself, or it's almost like having a lawyer on retainer, but you basically have someone who is vetted, who is yearly gets a certification, like you do with YouTube certification, but it's more about standards and practices. And so when you get dinged, you have someone who has an elevated level who can immediately call it out and change it. And basically, if they ever make a bad call, they're fired and you can never use them again. Like their license is revoked, so to speak. So now YouTube can put their hands up and go, well, he has a guy. He has a professional. Now we trust him. And if it ever goes beyond that, then it gets escalated.
Yeah, I do think that gets a little dicey if, say, you guys go, all right, well, at least get certified because you're going to be our YouTube professional, but I have a conflict of interest because I am still involved with the channel.
Yeah.
Though I didn't create the channel. I
guess that could
don't
be...
own it.
I mean, this could be like a whole new type of business that opens up of people who sort of contract for YouTube channels.
There could be third-party
That's what I mean.
that you
They
see
would have to be an unbiased person, but you essentially... It'd be interesting if maybe it's someone you just pay to go, hey, this video got hit with demonetization or whatever, and before it goes too far, you can immediately hire this person. They can look at it and say yes or no. And that way... You're paying for this service, but it also making sure that your channel's still making money. This is only for like the rich of the rich. These are like people who complain they don't have enough leg room in first class. Like, how can we make it better for them? You know? So I don't know how much this really helps the small guy. I don't know how much this would really help us.
If YouTube did say, we don't have the money or the infrastructure to do this, but a company did someone created a company that was the purpose and went to YouTube and said, well, we'll provide you this service, and perhaps if somebody wants the service, they essentially hire us as if we're like their legal counsel, and we will argue on their behalf with YouTube. They will have some kind of like vetting process where, because we are, it's within YouTube's system that we are vetting the videos. It works like sort of like, the partnerships that you see with like Rooster Teeth, where Hanabi is putting on conventions and there's a partnership. It's another company and a third party coming in.
It'd be interesting because then, YouTube would be giving up some sort of ad ownership to a third party, but I like your thinking because it does take the bias out of the situation. And I don't know, like we deal with this every day. Like right before this podcast, we got an email saying we're constantly emailing YouTube being like, this video got hit, and it takes weeks sometimes, but we're just fighting it, and I'm sure YouTube's getting tired of that.
Well, and sometimes we can't possibly predict why something would get flagged. Like it's the most perceivably random things that to us aren't really.
Just recently, it was a cigarette. There was
Yeah,
a cigarette on
in
the thumbnail, and they said there's a drug on the thumbnail. Basically, the robot said, "I found drug," and we're like, "What's the drug?" And they're like, "It's a cigarette. That is a legal drug." They're like,
You got
Okay,
a
well-
party
well-
robot.
"Yeah."
Well, so allow me to actually, James, could you scoot this way just a smidge? You're kind of out of frame for the live viewers there. So I think we've done a good. We have in the past kind of run down our particular gripes with demonetization. What I think is kind of interesting to look at now is what the current system means for the future of YouTube and what that means for people who watch content on YouTube, because that's a lot of people, especially children, and I'll get to that very soon as well, because boy, that is some dystopian shit happening right now. So what we have is a system where an AI previously determined what kind of content would be pushed in front of you. When you searched for something, it was machine learning and AI that would determine what was at the top of that search. It's those things that determine what gets recommended after a video based on watch behavior and things like that. Now, it's growing over even the content side of things. So it used to be people would make whatever content they wanted to, / whatever content would make money, and then tailor it so the YouTube system would actually recommend it and find it and shove it in front of people's faces. Now, even content creators are going to have to change what they do to match a monetization algorithm. So the entire process now, from start to finish, is going to be algorithmically guided, which means when you go to YouTube, the things you see and the content that you see is going to be decided by an algorithm. And that is growing to be a problem, specifically with the news cycle on the election, the fact that depending on your belief structure, Russians were able to influence or at least seed a lot of intentionally malicious information by manipulating those AIs. And something similar could happen with YouTube. My concern more is the system will start to turn in on itself in very weird ways, and you're seeing this now with children's content. So there was a really cool article someone linked me to on Twitter on Medium, which essentially is a dissection of what's happening for children's content. A lot of it is being made entirely by bots, being watched by bots, being commented on by bots. But it's the feedback cycle that also gets it in front of kids. And that is a problem. That's a big problem for a couple of reasons that I'll get into soon. But actually, James, let me pause this real quick. Let's see. It's 1080, so it shouldn't blink. Okay, good. So let me show you this. So this is a video that's very common for like kids viewing. You can see it has
Choo Choo TV.
It has 557 million views.
Oh,
it
boy.
is the Finger Family song, in which
Hold on a minute.
yeah.
Can you hear? Do they have South Asian accents?
They could. It's processed so heavily.
How long is this video?
5 minutes and 51 seconds.
Should have made 10 minutes.
Yeah, they should. Well, there are other ones that do.
I want to know.
It's funny you bring that up.
They should
Adam.
have just looped it.
Yeah, well, they do. There are hour-long videos. Here's one. There it is. There are hour-long videos that just loop the same thing over and over, maybe with minor differences. So this is the normal side of kids' videos, if you can even call it that, because it gets weirder. This is big business, man. 1.2 billion views on this 1 hour video of just a bunch of nursery rhymes.
Get your heart out,
images and
Gangnam
stuff.
style.
But this stuff is ad friendly. It's very ad friendly, and it makes fuckloads of money.
Even though it's designed to hypnotize children.
Yep.
It's basically the box that the Riddler puts on top of televisions.
So here's where it gets weird. Making these videos isn't hard, especially since there's really no human element to it. It's an animation that can be generated by robots. It's vocals that can be generated by robots. And it's titles and thumbnails that can be generated by robots, because it's just a jumble of the same words in a different order, with adverbs and nouns injected into it. 5 little babies went to a zoo. 5 little babies using ball machine. 5 little babies dressed as police. 5 little babies playing with dough. 32 million views, 19 million views, 40 million views.
I bet if you look at a pattern in there, there's someone in like a render farm begging for help, like save me. If you follow the clues,
There's little notes.
yeah, Tom Hanks is gonna burst in with a little ponytail and tell us.
I think that honestly, I think this stuff's fully automated. If there is a pattern, it may be an AI that has achieved sentience and wants out.
Where's the company based out of?
I mean,
there's a lot of them. There's no one company that does this.
Wait,
to me
where's Choo Choo TV based out of?
India?
Question?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm going to say India.
I'm going to say somewhere in Europe.
Europe? No way. No way.
This looks European.
I don't know that
Country,
necessarily
India.
matters.
Country, India.
Oh, I guess
Damn it, you're right.
It's always India, man.
Look at that. Choo Choo TV Surprise, Choo Choo TV Fun Zone, Choo Choo TV Storytime, Choo Choo TV
God.
Espanol, Brazil, Francois,
Does that say 11 trillion
Mother
views?
Goose Glove.
Or billion?
That is a trillion. Yep.
Kids love YouTube.
Here's where that...
Oh my God. This has to be the biggest channel in the
Well,
world.
the weird thing too.
there's
the
a lot
weird
of
thing too
kids
is these
channels.
views are all kids in like their strollers holding their parents'
Oh,
iPad,
absolutely.
iPad or iPod or
It's
whatever.
that kid at the
and-
restaurant the parents are ignoring.
Yeah. This kid isn't gonna buy a Coke.
But you show that kid enough Coke branding as they're a child, and they'll grow up with an affinity for Coke
That's
that leads
true.
to them
It's an
buying a lot of
investment.
Coke.
True.
Yeah. It's investment in their future.
So here's where it gets interesting and scary. So if an algorithm is determining what videos get seen, and an algorithm determines what the content of those videos is, you can wind up with something like this. So there was a German company that had an automated system. This happens a lot with shirts, by the way, where it will just find an image on the internet that is popular and put it on a phone case. And then it'll put that automatically on the internet, and then you can buy it. So there's a purple strap-on with thongs for roleplay game cell phone cover case Samsung S5. There's an adult man diaper case. There's some dude pulling heroin into a needle
I need a new case
for an iPhone 5. There's somebody getting their pits waxed. This is a robot pulling images from the internet and then offering it on a case. And then if somebody buys it, a machine somewhere finds that JPEG, sprays it on a case, and ships it to you, probably from China.
At the end of the day, there's just some guy collecting a check going, I don't know.
3D printing is gonna
fungus.
make this even better.
Yeah.
better.
It's gonna print the whole thing. It's gonna be a case in the shape of a strap-on.
There's also
You know?
this, which was a problem.
Oof.
Oh
Whoa.
my God.
No
Wow.
one. So there, heavy word coming up. There is a shirt that says "Keep calm and rape a lot." No one made it. It was a robot that was just combining phrases from the internet with "keep calm." These T-shirts are created by an algorithm, because there's no human monitoring it, and the algorithm wasn't trained to not publish this to the internet.
This is sort of
How
like
many
that.
of those do you think they sold?
I don't know.
Thousands. There was like that one Twitter robot that I think didn't Microsoft make it, and people were
And
influencing it.
Yeah, and
Too
it
early.
very quickly spiraled into
Yeah.
Nazism.
Well, there was also, I think there was like I forget, it was a Chinese AI or something, and it started praising America. I'm like, take it down.
So here's where the links, you can start to see the things get linked, and here's where it starts to get scary.
Oh, Peppa Pig.
So Peppa Pig's very popular.
yeah,
No, yeah, with me.
There's a whole gang of feisty little trolls out there that like to make knockoff videos that are very dark, disturbing, violent, graphic, that are like straight up imitations of children's videos.
Oh, so this is a fake one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Peppa Pig drinks bleach for the first time. Which is,
It's a good title.
funny, but it's
You're their audience.
some good old fashioned internet trolling.
But kids are getting
Clicking
it.
on them.
Kids
They
are
don't
clicking on
realize.
it. The algorithm may not be able to tell, and if
Oh, Jesus.
if there are algorithms generating these videos, it's possible that this sort of imagery will just get wrapped into the algorithm that's cranking these videos out, and then you get a situation where you have somebody getting their armpit waxed on an iPhone case, or toenail fungus, or a needle pulling heroin. Like, that could happen, and that could get recommended to a child because the process is all automated, and theoretically the solution is, well, the automation just has to get good enough to screen that stuff out. But I feel like it's so messy now that it's kind of unavoidable.
This kind of reminds me of, so like, you guys are probably the same, but when I was a kid, it didn't matter what it was. If it was Bebe's Kids or Darkwing Duck, if it was a cartoon, I wanted to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to watch anything that wasn't a cartoon.
Yeah.
I'd watch Care Bears, but the minute, whatever not Step by Step, what was the Brady Bunch would come on, I'd go, ew, no.
Yeah.
Looks like shit. I want to see bears talking to
yeah.
each other. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
And
So
I
this
remember
is pretty disturbing stuff for a kid to see.
Well, I remember seeing this I was at a Comic-Con one year, and there was the Happy Tree Friends booth, and it's deceptive, right? Because the show looks like it's kid friendly, but it's the most violent thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I remember children just sitting there. There was a mom talking to someone, and kids were sitting on the floor watching it. And it was like, oh my god, yeah, that's kind of what this is, or this reminds me of it. Is some kid would watch this right now and go, ha ha ha, I don't know. It's a cartoon, so I'll just look at it.
Yeah. Man, the thing is, it's kind of a cop-out, but it always comes back to, Jesus Christ, if you just let your kids just do whatever, like watch, if you let your kids or trust their own instincts, humans are inherently garbage. And we'll always find like something like this.
Well, I mean, I would hope that you as a parent would imprint in your child the basic sense that dressing as a clown and stabbing someone is wrong.
Yeah.
So that that they don't just watch a YouTube video and they're a clean slate, blank slate that watches that and says, I should do that.
Yeah.
But you never know. Though I do think like that is horrible.
Well, here's where the system breaks down, Elise.
Well, everyone. Not just Elise.
Yeah,
Elise,
everyone.
listen to this.
Audience
tuned out.
included. And these are things that every rational human should start thinking about. Since it's happening with kids media now, the fact that AI is generating content for kids to watch. There are AI that are recommending stories and videos to you based on your demonstrated behavior. And don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that your worldview is not shaped by that, because it is. That's how you get news. That's how you get headlines. That's the manner in which you shape your view of the world. At least it certainly is the case for me. Perhaps you have some ability to objectively see the world's truth through all that. But
Well, do people often go out of their way to look at websites or articles or subreddits that disagree with their worldview?
absolutely not. That is a demonstrated human behavior. You do not seek out contradictory information. You seek out agreeable information. So if AI is guiding adults down a path of agreement and sameness so that they have a good internet experience, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, it's just the nature of things, and kids are starting to consume content that is automatically generated, you're going to have a generation of people who have watched content that is generated by AI that shapes their worldview in very strong ways. So parents now may be able to say, hey kid, don't stab somebody. But if somebody was 4 years old and all they did was see clowns stabbing people and then they become a parent, what are they going to say to their kid who is watching the fourth dimensional hyper AI construct entertainment? I don't know.
Let me throw this out here.
All right.
Skynet only dropped the bombs because they knew that humans inevitably would destroy themselves.
Oh yeah, no, Skynet was the good guy.
Skynet was the most efficient operating system.
Where'd that mud go? I want to see
So,
that mud squish.
There you go.
So
That squeeze
what
part.
if this is just human evolution taking place?
Yeah.
That the giving control to the robots is only taking us in a direction that leads to our ultimate demise in a more efficient manner. How about that?
I will always say Skynet
So
did nothing
you
wrong.
welcome the end.
Skynet did nothing.
No, it's absolutely true. It's because
No,
they were like, unplug it, take it down. He goes, why you kill me?
Yeah.
Why? And so
Me
it,
protect
Oh, I
you
see.
with
Yeah.
bombs.
so it defended itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting change in evolution because, like you said, given that your online experience is being targeted at you, the videos that are in your queue are being selected for you, and that's all based on an algorithm that's seeing what you've watched and predicting what you want to watch next. So there's a linear funnel where you're getting only a certain type of content. Whereas when we were kids, I watched fucking everything because nothing was ever censored for me.
Nice.
I have I know if I have a friend that was not allowed to watch anything that had a witch in it. She's 29 years old or 30 years old and could never watch her parents. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't even imagine.
She's a witch now.
But though I would watch things that were potentially too mature for me, inappropriate for me, I still had a plethora of content I was consuming that was different, that provided this span of worldviews. So for every episode of Melrose Place I would watch when I was 7 years old with my mom, I would also watch an episode of like Fred Penner. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, he was a con that was escaping the...
No, that's your personal opinion.
Watch the intro, Fred Penner's Place. It's right there in the details.
I don't know what the hell Fred Penner
Yeah, I have no
is.
idea what you guys are talking about.
He was a musician that he'd go to this like clearing in the woods, and then a bunch of kids would gather around and listen to him.
Oh, that's
sing
frightening.
songs.
Watch
that's
it.
kinda
The
creepy.
whole intro is him running from the cops.
Do not pull up the Fred Penner intro. Whatever you do, Lawrence.
Penner just sounds like pedo.
All right.
It's just close enough.
But yeah, so especially with television, because it's TV, aside from children's channels that would have a slate of content that was gathered and curated for children, you would have just channel surfing and a bunch of other stuff. Now with targeted YouTube content, if that's all you're watching, you are going to get a more linear experience.
There's a certain scope that opens up and opens up and opens up, and the original scope was, hey, if it plays on one of the 3 radio stations, kids are going to hear it. What can you do? You can't stop them. Then it became television. Find the intro.
Oh, that's it.
I know the one you're talking. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Now just imagine, I don't remember there being a coast.
We swam from Alcatraz.
Yeah, just imagine that there's a police helicopter just out of shot for all of this, and it makes much more sense.
Oh, he's got a bindle.
Why would he be wearing a bright sweater? That would just make him more visible.
Because he killed some.
Yeah,
he killed some.
He took off a jogger.
Some guy in the '80s to cover his convict outfit.
Somewhere out there is a naked man floating in the water, a beaver building a dam around him.
Yes, he looks innocent and pure.
See, helicopter overhead.
Yeah.
Smiling at all of his furry
Interesting.
woodland pals.
Yeah, he's great.
well,
Yeah, it's interesting because basically the game that, not good parenting, but society as a whole has to play is like, as long, people are going to consume what they're going to consume, as long as we give them the tools that they need to determine what is right and what is wrong, then when they come across these questions, they can make a judgment call for themselves. So they see Peppa the pig with a knife to her throat and they know, oh, okay, this is bad. But they see Peppa Pig and she's like helping a friend across the street, then it's good. But change his clothes several times. But it's weird. Now with YouTube, when they're, like Lawrence is saying, are robots generating videos faster than anyone could ever view or monitor, and there's so many devices out in the world. It's tough. How, I don't know.
I think, honestly, people, at the end of the day, want that, whether they admit it or not. I think,
Nice.
I think we've given up any sort of freedom of will or anything for convenience.
Adam, you've hit, I think, on the core issue, which is people, kind of like James tends to bring up when people complain about a decision that was foregone. The system exists as it is now because people like it. It does result in an internet experience that is better. It's only natural for you to want to watch content that you want to see. And AI are getting shockingly good at predicting that just based on human behavior.
Well, there was the church shooting yesterday, and my phone, I don't really pick the news stories that Google will randomly just give me.
You pick them with your your searches from 5 years ago.
Basically.
It's so weird. I never search any political news. That is not anything I search. I'm always searching really dumb shit, dumb stats. I'm looking for tips in Destiny.
ASCII art.
Like, actually, a lot of ASCII art, yeah. Movie show times, that's it. But randomly, they're like, shooting in in the middle of a church, blah, blah. I was like, why did that come up? And I didn't want to read it. I just swiped it away. But it still gives me this stuff. But that's the age we live in, where I can have like chosen ignorance, where I'm like, what a horrific story. Yeah. There's nothing I could have done, or I'm not a participant in this. I can read about it and get sad, or keep watching shitty YouTube videos, or play Marvel Puzzle Quest. So that's like, that's the, I don't know. I would think I represent at least some small portion of
it may
this
get
land.
there, but if we want to do it for a force for good, there'd be another algorithm that works within the first algorithm, and then it's like there is a shooting in Texas, and then right below that is a like read story, hide story,
call your congressman,
reach your congressman, or like here's the date for the next local elections,
and it opens up. You click on it, and it opens up an email that has the congressman's email auto-populated.
Yeah.
His address. Blood type.
We need to.
Then you do that enough, and the AI decides that you would do it anyway, so it just does it for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, good. It saved me a letter to my congressman.
It's recorded you do so many Google searches that it can actually have you talk for you. It's like, hello, Senator. I am Elise Wilms.
Yo.
She does say yo a lot.
I am a big fan of your thoughts.
Yeah.
He's like, thank you.
Well, there is right now one place you can get away from this nightmarish hellscape of AI controlled media.
Tell me more.
And that's sleep. Yes, when you go into the great beyond, Google can't reach you there.
It's not the great beyond, but go on.
Every night I die a little, but I do so in comfort on a Casper mattress. Casper is sponsoring this podcast, and they make a delightful product. It's a mattress by mail company because It's 2017, and if you're not getting your things in a box over the internet, it's not worth having. Casper mattresses combine multiple technologies for a new kind of memory foam that is wonderful. And the big thing that I just the ad copy mentioned it, but I was like, yeah, that's right. It's actually not hot. I used to always sleep with one leg out. It was like my vent. I had to basically have something exposed to moving air. Otherwise, I just start sweating. I'm a hot sleeper. I don't know why.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, but
I get the same problem.
ever since I got a Casper mattress, I don't really have to do that much anymore. So that's nice. It's also really easy to buy. Like I was saying, everything's online. You buy it over the internet, and then it ships to you in this like cool vacuum packed thing. So it's not even that big. It's easy to move around. You just move it right to your bedroom and then pop it, and it explodes like a big bedding pimple.
I think they hydraulically press it.
Oh, it's so cool.
That's the cool.
It's like all
I
rolled.
should send you a video. This is a video of your mattress
Yeah.
being put in the packaging,
Ooh.
and you watch it before then you.
It's like your baby.
Yeah.
And now here's the big thing: free shipping and free returns to the U.S. and Canada.
That's big.
Yeah, so you have a 100-day trial where you can return it after it. So if you've ever gotten a mattress and like a week in you start to have like some backaches or something like that, you don't have to worry about that with Casper. So if you use it and you find for whatever reason you don't like it, you can return it, full refund. And they suggest that considering that you spend an entire third of your life on a mattress, it's important to truly sleep on a mattress and try it for yourself before committing. That's why they give you 100 nights to try it. And you can save $50 off that purchase price by going to casper.com/dudesoup and using code DUDESOUP when you check out. Once more, that's casper.com/dudesoup and code DUDESOUP for $50 off. So thank you, Casper. I got one and I've enjoyed it ever since. That's why I get crazy cyber dreams about the dystopian future in which they just show me videos about anime girls because that's all I ever look for. And then my world will be nothing but anime girls, and I'll never have to think about anything else.
Casper did not approve this part of the message.
No, they did
Is
not.
she playing a bass guitar?
I think the
She's like
sitar.
I mean, it's got 4 strings, but the string I can't tell because of qualities. But the strings don't look very thick, and
Yeah.
she's strumming it, which
Whatever.
you don't normally see.
We got to go back to Mud. I
It's
want to see
this
that.
kind of musical innovation that you only get in Fred Penner's place.
Is there hard net in Lawrence?
There is. Well, actually, you just reminded me that
Fred Penner is the
I actually didn't. I have a list of them, but I didn't pick one beforehand, so I'm gonna have to do that real quick.
Oh, okay.
Have you noticed the subreddit has just become like
Net
hard net and
submissions.
submissions? Like,
That's not the best.
And it starts with, I don't know if I should submit this, but
yeah,
Hey,
but I
Mod.
did it anyway.
Here I'm gonna
Mods,
submit it.
It'd be awesome if every week you just did a
Weekly make a thread.
hard net and
Tuesdays or Mondays after the podcast.
Mondays.
Mondays after the
thread. 'Cause-
podcast.
No, but we don't want. There's a open house thread that we need. Mods are kicking busting their
What can I
ass
say?
to keep up
seriously.
with these
I,
threads.
I
Poor mods.
appreciate it, mods.
YouTube, hire
But,
us more mods.
I would say
for
that
it.
hardnet and thread would actually be a little bit more.
More
I'm just saying, when I go to our
There we go.
subreddit, I just want to see fan art of me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all this hard netting bullshit.
All right.
Weekly thread of Adam fan art.
I found it.
Yeah, mods, if you just start the thread.
Start up a thread, please. So this is a pretty good one. So if you recall, last week was the Marble Olympics, which surprised and delighted everyone.
Great.
So good.
Let me bring that up right here. It's a pretty big institution, I guess I'd say. But hey, we are not averse to the already famous here on Dude Soup. So there's that, and I'm gonna throw it up against this. So this is similar to something that was way back at the origin of hard netting. There was something about women trapped in mud. This is similar and also thematically appropriate given all the mud we've been dealing with. But this channel, Cowboy MWZ, posts videos of a big old cowboy stomping in some mud.
I am immediately attracted to mud in Wranglers and boots. He scrolled past it, but
Well, there's multiple.
oh, there's another one. And
There's
Spurs.
Spurs.
This is like the 5 little children
Muddy
dressed as
Rocky
cops.
boots.
It's all mudding in Wranglers.
Just in cowboy jeans, mud
Dressed
fun.
as cops, mudding in Wranglers, dressed as doctors.
Go to that
Rocky
butt
boots.
shot.
Yeah, that's the one that got me.
This one?
Yeah.
that has
This is
the most
definitely
views.
Indian.
Okay, I mean,
So an AI is making this?
Is this? Those are man's legs, right?
Yeah.
Because normally you don't think tough cowboy type. Like, let me go out and see if I can turn on those mud
that's
lovers.
a stereotype that you are imposing on us. It's not how we
Oh.
feel.
The sound.
it's got some
What?
chew in
Yeah,
the
how's
back
that
pocket
look?
there.
Get some mud on that butt.
What's he got in there?
What's
He's
his
got
pocket?
tobacco.
Got some tobacco.
Yeah.
Or a
Whack.
giant condom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's really.
Show me that. I want to hear that squish.
Oh, he's really grinding down in that mud.
Wow.
Oh, mud butt.
How do you wash that? Like in the river?
These are deleted scenes
right
from
there.
Brokeback Mountain, right?
Yeah.
It's like the pits of your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish it was mud that caused it. Hey, he's gonna have to wash. Those are brand new jeans.
you don't know that.
You know what?
Look at him.
He
There's-
gets the jeans, he throws them out.
He's
New
like,
pair of jeans.
the money I make from this
Whoa.
10K plus YouTube video is gonna buy me new jeans.
Hey, look at some of the
Unmonetized.
look at some of the comments. Yeah.
That baby
comments?
lifting. Doing
Wait, so it
deadlift.
says out mud.
Damn, love when you dirty that ass. Love it when it clean ass.
Like, okay.
Is it robots talking to robots?
Yeah.
That sure is a nice Wrangler butt and them there jeans in the mud. Cowboys are the hottest. Looks like you were having fun.
Yeah, but was he having fun? It doesn't look.
Right.
Clip off your
Yeah.
Wrangler patch. What? Man, you look good in them rangs and boots. Thanks for sharing. Woof.
Love the sucking sounds as you were pulling out of the mud.
Wisconsin boot dude.
Hot scene, boot bud.
So it is oddly sexual.
Not oddly.
Well, for a certain
I mean,
someone.
It's not doing anything for me.
Ooh.
This is.
You know,
It seems like something that'd be
well,
playing
he's
on.
not even wearing boots.
Wait.
Yeah, well,
Well, it's,
they're not boots, right? They're just.
I mean, he's getting him in the socks though.
This is. I feel like this is something you'd see on a TV in the background of like a David Lynch movie.
yeah.
It's just somewhere in a hotel, just playing a man
pretty
walking
good.
in mud.
Do you think he walks around his property and goes, "Ooh, that's some nice mud right there. Where can I set my camera?"
Honey, bring out the
This channel's
camera.
still current. I noticed that a lot of their videos are, 6 years old, 5 years old.
Maybe it's not current. Let's see. Boot Button
years.
2 is the most recent. That was
2 years
2015.
That's tough.
Maybe he had an
gave up
injury.
on what is arguably the easiest. Oh, do you think he was affected by the drought?
Oh, maybe.
There's no mud left for me to stomp in. It's all sand.
It's dry dirt.
No one wants to see a man stomping in sand. It's too dry, no squish.
Or maybe he went into a hole too deep and now he's gone.
stuck.
Yeah, he's still there. We should send a search party.
You could see where he was like doing work with his
Stomped his way to
stuff
heaven.
thing.
Yeah. So.
Ooh, that's a good squish.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Weird.
Some good squish.
I mean,
struggling in thick mud and ostrich cowboy boots. Ostrich, because ostriches are designed to put their head in the ground.
Back in there. Look at that mud squish. Yeah.
it's so. YouTube is just a mirror, being held up to humanity. This is what we want.
Except the
Yeah.
robot's holding it.
I guess.
Getting weird, man.
I mean,
This is a problem where you confront the things the robots have determined. The robots have determined who you are. No one looks in a mirror and sees themselves. They see who they think they are. But robots are mirrors that show you who you are. That's the thing.
yeah.
You're a mud loving ostrich boot lover or whatever, wrangler.
Man, John Fountain's got a real agenda here. First comment, the video makes me horny. Second comment, get them stuck in glue. Third comment, he came back a month later. If you can get your boots stuck in mud, you can certainly get your boots stuck in glue. He sounds a little insistent.
Getting demanding.
Is there a phone number I could call?
I like
Wait.
hot mud play.
There's different. It's 3 different John Fountains.
Yeah, because they have different avatars, but I was hoping it was all the same
There
John
are 3
Fountain.
different accounts.
No content.
Well, maybe it's
He
like,
forgot his password.
Make
Dang.
new ones.
New nominee for Hardnet and John Fountain.
Ooh,
John
Huh.
Fountain.
weird. He's really into that. He
I
really
wonder if
wants
those are
glue.
robots.
Boot stomping.
You know what? I think
Oh, this one's really soupy mud.
he's been
That's different.
posting maybe a video a year.
You think we're coming around on
Maybe we're
another
coming
one?
around to new
He's
one.
due. All right,
Once the rain sets.
No, the audio is muddy.
not rainy season. All right.
Do you think it's a tripod?
Oh, CJ Wet Jeans would love to get my
Do you
jeans
think
muddy
they ever
with
got
you.
together? Come on over.
I don't know.
Found
Give
some
you
good mud in the
GPS
backyard.
coordinates of my best mud.
I mean, I'm happy for anyone doing what they want to do, especially he's clearly just doing it for fun. But it creeps me out.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know
This
why.
creeps me out. I don't know why.
Ooh,
I think because he's alone.
We don't know that.
We don't see his face.
Hold on.
Oh, that's too muddy. Don't do it. That's so muddy, dude.
And it's like there's something about him getting like just a little extra dirty that's like appealing to these people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Answer
right.
him.
Oh, that's it.
I have know my winner.
His mud got better as he went on. I'll tell you that much.
I love getting muddy jeans on or muddy knees on my jeans too. This one got me hard in an instant. Right,
Right
on.
on.
Nice.
Right on.
Boing.
Well, it's a 20-second video, so that's real impressive. All right, I guess we can put it up to a race. Yeah, the Marble Olympics versus Cowboy MWZ. Mud. What does that stand for? Mud with? No, I don't know. Mud with zest.
I don't know.
Nothing on the about page. Weird.
So my only problem is he hasn't posted in 2 years, and I think true hard Nettin candidates see that this is like an outlet that they can't deny themselves. They have to share this with everybody. If he had posted regularly, I would have gone Cowboy WMZ, but I'm going to go with Marble Olympics.
Zeke has good advice. You need to do one where you are clean, but then jump into a pond and get muddy. It's good advice.
Isn't that the whole thing every single time?
It's great to see that you're still out about and getting muddy. Keep it up.
I'm, of course, going for Marble Olympics because I was just enamored.
Okay.
Now, what's the
By
most
that.
recent Marble Olympics video? Can we see?
Let's find out. Oh,
Whoa!
This is impressive.
Is this the most recent one? No, that's from June.
Yeah, there's actually a really adorable video of the Marble Olympics man watching his channel cross over 100,000 subscribers.
Oh,
He's very he's so
only 2 to
exciting.
go.
It looks like ISIS filmed this for him.
Yeah,
Why does he
the-
look so scared?
There's a man
There's a
in a
guy with
mask.
an AK right off camera pointing it at him and go, "You better cross 100,000."
I mean, he's got some great cheekbones. I could see us seeing Marble Olympics guy on the runway next season.
We
Milan.
should do a biopic, and Ethan Hawke will play
Marble
Olympics
Olympics.
guy.
Oh, there's another one.
Well, looks like we made it here.
He's very excited to get his play button.
That
You
is-
earned it.
That is cute.
Oh,
Bingo,
Oh.
bingo. Gelukt, 100.000 is bereikt.
Goal accomplished.
Bingo. Halleluja. Het is mij gelukt.
That's pretty good.
Can I stop?
Yes.
See, it's proud. He's happy for it.
Allemaal voor het abonneren.
Tired.
He's great.
What do you vote for, Adam?
Marble Olympics.
all right. Well, find a muddier mud patch and try again, cowboy. See you on that
talking
old
to?
dusty trail.
Ugh.
John Fountain or whatever.
John Fountain is very, very insistent.
Squish.
Why aren't you doing glue? Glue's the same as mud. Do
Yeah.
glue. Do glue. Do glue.
What happened to the passion?
Yeah, you
what
used
I
to
wanna
care
know.
about stomping in mud. Now you just do it out of obligation. All right, well, we got some announcements for y'all. We got a new poster, and guess what? It just went live on the store, and I can show you what it looks like. So it's pretty cool. I guess the inspiration
there,
was Mars
tech
Attacks,
boys.
but mostly it's Adam and
it's
Bruce
like
being
action
ripped as
It's
shit.
80s movie poster.
Yeah, so they're
you keep
doing.
saying Mars Attacks. It's weird.
Well,
I don't
that's
see
because
it.
it's in the fucking title of the image.
Well, Mars is attacking.
Okay.
That's
I-
it.
I have no
That's what
dog
he
in that
said.
fight. I'm not.
Not the film, though.
It's just what the image is called, so I call
Yeah.
it that. I don't. Anyway, you guys are ripped,
funny.
and Bruce has a sweet like tribal funhouse
Yeah,
tattoo.
Adam
Yeah.
got some dog tags.
I mean, it's cool they toned us down a little bit
Yeah.
for the
Adam
art.
doesn't have chest hair though. Is my only.
I'm getting a little bit. See, it's
yeah,
growing.
you were working on
As I
it.
get older, it is coming
Yeah,
out.
and then it's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
Wow.
It comes in
Damn
two
it.
variants. There's a gray and a blue. See that there? Boop boop. And it's actually a very limited run. So if you want to get this poster, you should probably go check it out right now on the Rooster Teeth store. They were actually put up for sale at the beginning of the podcast just over an hour ago. The Blue Commando is limited to 400 prints. Each will be signed and numbered by the artist Tobin Lee. And this, Bloodfire, the gray one, is limited to 100 prints.
Oh.
Again, all signed and numbered by the artist.
Are we
so
gonna get any?
we
No.
we were supposed. They tried to send one so we could show it, but I guess it didn't arrive in
I
time.
would
which is
love to frame this and
a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
put it near release.
All sold out. Sorry.
I would
man.
love to sit beneath this poster.
So yeah, that is available now. Run to the store, throw your money at Rooster Teeth, contribute to the wonderful empire we have.
Also,
here.
thank you, Tobin. You do awesome
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, this is
So,
really
That's
incredible.
really cool.
So that's available now. But yeah, one more thing. It's screen print poster, measures 24 by 36 inches. So if you want to get your frames ready, you can do that.
like my dong.
Yeah.
Squish, squish.
Squish, squish.
Sounds like that mud.
We also have the Fundum tee,
Nice.
which is a really cool design. I had a suspicion about this, and then I looked it up, and it turns out it's true.
Yeah.
It's a Ruru 34, which is pretty cool.
This is
Cheeky
a
little joke.
This was an Elise Willems idea.
Yeah.
She had
job,
a fever
Elise.
dream.
Also wrote the description, which is marvelous.
I just took a quote
job,
and
Elise.
changed stuff around.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Elise.
Thank you.
Hey, Elise,
Um,
high five.
How many episodes of Gundam have you seen?
Who? That doesn't exist.
We've also got the pullover hoodie up on the store.
I've
which
worn
is
that before.
Yeah,
Super comfy.
It's a nice one.
I got to take a needle and thread to mine. I loved it too much.
Who's modeling it?
Gross.
It's Riot and Ryan.
Riot Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, he loves the camera,
Yeah.
and it loves him.
They're so comfortable.
They are actually super comfy. I got to admit.
I'm saying they are comfortable in the hoodie.
Yes, they look like it. Look at them there.
That confidence.
I just want to lay on Ryan.
The winter wear being made by Rooster Teeth is just super, super comfy.
Yeah, I really like this shirt.
Content announcements for you guys. Full House of Drunk Cuphead is up pretty much right now. So that's a first member only thing, but if you want to watch the full ordeal of us playing Cuphead and getting fucked up, you can. It was kind of a shorter thing. It wasn't meant to be a full video.
Pre-game.
Yeah, it was our pre-game before.
It was a very smart idea to get us
unleashed SNES Classic on these people.
You got us toasty very fast.
Yeah, that was
It was like
gnarly.
throwing you into a fireplace.
Kind of.
Well, the rule was every time you die in Cuphead, you take a shot. Then I think we had to tone it down because it was basically like every time you breathe air, you should take a shot.
We had to do rounds, which was much smarter. And we got like 5 shots in before.
You blinked, take a shot. Fuck, these are things I do.
We also have Extra Life this weekend. This previous weekend was the community stream, which thanks everybody that participated in that. This weekend we'll be doing the Rooster Teeth Extra Life stream, which is always a spectacle, and we will be there on set in Austin. We got a block that we'll be raising money for the kids for. We also have a custom print that we'll be auctioning over the course of the stream. We haven't really settled on the exact details about that yet, but if you saw the stream over the weekend, you have an idea of what monstrosity we were cooking up. And then one final thing, episode 4 of Twits and Crits, the League of Extraordinary Gyremen, posts this Thursday.
I just like making him say it.
Yeah. November 9th. What's some highlights from episode 4? Maybe tease it out.
What happened in episode 4?
Yeah, I don't remember specifically between
Recorded that
episodes.
like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was
Probably something offensive with a blind and deaf guy.
Yeah, maybe Mary had fecal matter shoved in his mouth.
This is the season of Peak. So if you're a fan of Peak,
Man.
he's
Nothing but
really
good
coming
things
out of
happen
his
to him.
shell in this one.
The best part of Dan has sort of relaxed the DM responsibilities, and we've gone to the part where like, Peak, roll, and he'll do a thing. And we go, yeah, that's what happened, and Dan's like, sure.
Yeah, we killed God essentially.
God is
And,
dead.
Yeah, we've
Long
replaced him
live God.
with our own design.
We're just like a pagan D&D game going on now. But
Yeah, I can give you a little quick tidbit of what's going to happen in this episode. So, Miri
mud.
might be in danger in this episode.
as in every episode.
What about his anus?
We encountered some lagoon monsters, and I just don't know if his anus can take it.
Is there mud squishing in it?
He may have some mud butt.
The anus of
cannot
anus.
confirm.
I'm gonna go into
Classic
the bog.
mud butt.
I'm gonna squish some mud in that bog.
it's a good show. It's fun to make. Go watch it.
Yeah,
We do it for you, first members.
only for you. So thank you guys for watching or listening to the podcast. However you managed to reach this content, I'm glad you did. Appreciate your presence. If you enjoyed the discussion, if you found it educational, entertaining, or just enough to kill time, sometimes that's enough. I'd appreciate it if you left a rating or recommended it to a friend on whatever service you're watching on. But just watching is enough, or listening. Wine is delicious. I keep looking. It's right there. Mud and wine, man. The 2 things that any man needs to be happy in this world. But thank you so much for listening. If you're watching live, stay tuned. We got the post show coming up. If you're not watching live, the post show is pretty cool. It's Dude Soup After Dark. We get a little relaxed. We rap with the kids a little bit. We're all qualified life coaches, so we give people some real advice, some really useful advice. And if you're needing that, then pay money and watch that content. But I guess we'll catch you next week. More Dude Soup. Thanks again to my fine.
Young cannibals.
Yes, fine young
He was a
cannibals
fine young cannibal.
who are very real and not fake at all.
She drives me crazy.
Thanks for
guys-
watching.
Ooh.
Next week.
This is already getting up.
Bye, Elise.
Yeah, I really have to pee too.
All right.
I'm going to pee. Why not?
Okay, so we had talked briefly before the podcast started, and I basically laid out all the stuff that I had turned up in my research, the ESRB, PEGI, UK government, all saying that for 2 very strict stipulations that loot boxes are not gambling. However, you disagree with that. That
I
sounds.
disagree with that adamantly.
Okay.
Disclaimer, nothing I say is legal advice.